welcome everyone und herzlich willkommen da draußen once again to this live radio variety show emanating from the cosmic radio receptors of KCRW LP 100.7 FM located in lovely coastal Brookings, Oregon.
Hey, Brookings.
My name is Dr. Gigi and you are tuned into this week's edition of Doc and
Jacques. Jacques.
My co-host is again Jacques Wolf-Kepner. Hey, Jacques Boo, Poopity-Poo, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I picked up that you spoke a little bit of
Russian. Yeah, that was
German
me.
There at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm doing fine. I'm doing better than peanut butter. Gigi ate this morning. That's the first time I've seen this on the script.
No, okay. He doesn't read his stuff.
We're so sophisticated. We have computers in front of us and all the stuff's flashing in front of our eyes. As you know, we start off each week with a full segment of... I'm reading her lines off the computer. Okay, go ahead.
The segment of full of interesting medically relevant topics that we call MD10. And after that...
we have some interesting medical tidbits that she will share with us. I will introduce this week's guest for a creatively composed, colorfully cosmopolitan, and consequentially cordial, charming conversation with a coastal community celebrity. And by the way, it is Wednesday. It is July. It is 24th day of July, 2024.
It's a Utah holiday, Pioneer Day.
Is that in Utah? It's a Pioneer Day. Okay. Mm-hmm. Only you know that, but that's cool. And I think it's a beautiful day here. It really is. It's warm. It's kind of warm in the studio. It's fine.
It's nice.
I want to shout out to Ray Simon and Tom Bozak, our wonderful engineers, and the KCIW booth. Okay.
And I want to remind you that at the end of the hour, we try to end it with the Fun Time Corner.
Yeah, Fun Time Corner.
Filled with nice quotes and sometimes funny jokes.
Wait a
Do you
minute.
have any shout-outs you want to start
I do.
with?
I'll start off with shout-outs to Jared and Jaden. Hey, what's going on? Grant and Vera. Kelly. Kelly's listening. She's back from her trip.
Dave.
Okay. Barb Hunt. And
Poppy. Purdy.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Kelly. I just said Kelly.
You did?
Dr. Sherry
Kelly.
and Chris Nelson. Guess what? They were just at the Hackney Diamonds closing tour date in Branson, Missouri Sunday night. They got to see the Rolling Stones.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's still alive.
Which, that makes me rethink my whole thing about this health and fitness stuff.
Yeah.
Because Keith Richards has outlived Richard Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
So you call it. I mean, that's pretty wild. Peggy, Darwin.
Victoria.
Janice. Big shout out to Janice. And yeah, I think that's it. Victoria, don't we see that?
Probably we each have.
Okay,
a couple
Doc.
of times.
What do you have for us on your MD10 today?
Well, the interesting tidbit in the medical field today is hypnosis. Ta-da.
What did you say?
Hypnosis is a state when a person is in a very relaxed state and therefore can give focused attention to suggestions.
Okay.
That was news to me. You're very relaxed so you can be focused, right? Hypnosis is used in hypnotherapy. So I have a couple of points, 9, about hypnosis and hypnotherapy. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis.
In a way.
The hypnotherapist is only a guide.
As a guide, yeah, okay. It's good to have a hypnotherapist, kind of when you're learning the ropes. Okay, what else?
Approximately 90 to 95% of the population can be hypnotized, according to what I found here.
But what it is so funny is those people that argue the most say, I'm not going to be, I'm stealing her thunder.
You can't read my MD10 beforehand anymore.
Okay, well, you gave it to me.
During hypnosis, you're neither asleep nor unconscious and will always come out whenever you wish, usually by opening eyes or something if the eyes are closed. So this is what Jacques was saying. Stronger-minded and stronger-willed people are easier to hypnotize.
Yeah, the ones that always said, I'm not going to be hypnotized, they go down fast.
Hypnosis has been recognized since the 18th century. Whoa.
Franz Mesmer, amongst others.
Mm-hmm. Hypnosis has a wide range of applications, even in the medical field. That's where my MD10 comes in. In 1958...
And such a very good year, 1958.
I wonder who was born there.
Suggestion.
So in that fantastic year, both the American Medical Association, AMA, and the American Psychological Association recognized hypnotherapy as a valid medical procedure.
All right.
Very interesting. Now, since 1995, the National Institutes of Health has recommended hypnotherapy as a treatment for chronic pain, anxiety, and addiction.
Et cetera.
Yeah, well,
So
those
many
three.
things.
But tell us a little tiny tidbit about your self-hypnosis and pain.
Mine began out of the precursor of 2001 when I suffered a kidney stone and I found I had horrible kidney cancer, which was fatal. And they gave me a 93% chance of dying. And I went to many doctors. And finally, I found Dr. Presti at Stanford. Long story short, I had a big operation. And afterwards, the pain was so excruciating because they cut me in half. This was in 2001. They literally cut me in half. And they put in stuff, the shunts, and they 1,000 stitches. I was in such pain for so many months, for 8 months. I remember I was in bed for 8 months. It was a horrible, horrible thing. And the one thing that got me through was the hypnosis. I taught myself because I read a lot of books, and I started getting into it. And if it weren't for that, I'd still be in pain.
Okay, I wanted him to tell the funny story, not this one. So when he broke his neck.
Oh, you want me to tell that story? When I broke my neck 8 years later, and I said to the doctor they were going to do a big steroid shot into my neck. And I told him, I said, I didn't need, she just dropped her earphone. I didn't need anesthesia because I could handle it. And so they had me down on my side. I was able to look at the screen. And when that doctor put that needle up to my neck, I screamed so loud. I said,
Before he even inserted
before he inserted it. Got so afraid. He called it, the anesthesiologist was literally right on the other side of the door. Immediately there. Yes, sir. Boom, put me down. You thought that was about...
That was funny.
Okay, that's so much for that. It doesn't work too well. They stick huge needles the size of, it was about 10, 12 inches long, this needle that they were...
Yeah. I wasn't there,
Look
so...
at me incredulously.
Okay, so anyway, success rates of hypnotherapy can be as high as 93%, depending on where you read the success rate.
Scientist talking.
And 93% means that's your death percentage of
Oh,
dying,
you're right. Whoa, I like that.
So there you go. The techniques are often combined with so-called cognitive behavioral
Or
therapy.
CBT, right? Not CBD, but CBT.
Correct, counseling, etc. So those go together, and that enhances the success rate. Now, if you compare it with the 12-step...
Yeah, we were talking about this last night. There's AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. There's Overeaters Anonymous. There's
narcotics.
There's so many. It helps so many people. So that's cognitive behavior technique, maybe?
Those are the 12 steps that have been used for getting rid of a certain addiction.
So you're saying with hypnotherapy and that is super high?
No, I'm saying something totally different.
Okay.
I'm saying if you compare the 12-step success rate is anywhere between 10 to 70%, and everybody knows the 12 steps and thinks it is a fantastic invention, and a lot of people get rid of their addiction, etc. But that success rate is actually less than that of hypnotherapy and CBT.
Whoa, pretty darn good. Okay.
So my main point of this MD10 is to actually point out that there is clinically shown applications of hypnotherapy, and even though it is relatively new and there are some branches out where we have our guests in for,
great
that possibly has not been evaluated clinically, I am excited for what will come, and I certainly am open and see what the future will bring. I think it is super
Right.
cool.
Now, you said it's relatively new. I agree. I'm new. I was born in 1958, same year as they came out. They said, we endorse it. That's new. I feel really good.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Doc, for that enlightening and little light of what hypnosis is all about. Welcome to our ever-growing family of KCIW community radio listeners. Today we're going to delve into this fascinating subject of hypnosis. It's a practice, I admit, is somewhat still shrouded in mystery, yet it's really grounded in science, as doctors just pointed out. Hypnosis has a rich history way back in the day, with roots leading. It went across multiple diverse cultures and civilizations. It's been there and recognized, maybe not called hypnosis until it came about with Franz Mesmer's theory of animal magnetism in the late 1700s. And here's something. Did you know that the Greek god of sleep is named Hypnos? Hypnos. Okay, German.
I mean, I said the same thing.
Hypnos, okay. Hypnos, all right. And that is the god of sleep. The god of dreams is Morphine. And that's where morphine comes from. That's another thing. It was from this name that James Braid coined the term hypnosis in the 1840s. Today we know that hypnosis has so much to offer, but it is distinct from sleep. A lot of people can't get around that. It's far from the theatrical portrayals in pop culture. Hypnosis is a legitimate therapeutic tool recognized by major medical associations, and in a state, it's a state, I should say, of highly focused attention and heightened suggestibility. It is the point where the conscious mind rests and steps aside, allowing deeper access and opening doorways to the collective powerhouse, or the SCM, the subconscious mind. In brief, amongst many other things, the subconscious mind holds the vast reservoir of our memories, our beliefs, and our automatic behaviors. Some of them we discussed last week in the autonomic system.
Yeah.
The subconscious mind plays a crucial role in hypnosis. Well, we will find this out. Actually, we'll have it all confirmed, or contrasted by our guest who's in the house. We'll get right to her in just a minute. I can personally attest to its wonders. I just told you what happened to me 23 years ago. With hypnosis, there is a caveat, and that is important that we understand what hypnosis is not. It is not mind control, and a hypnotized person will never do anything against their core values. It's sort of a collaborative process between the therapist and the subject. Hypnosis has also been used to explore concepts like past lives or the afterlife. It truly is an incredible arena. We will examine its applications and study how it might help us better understand the complex interplay to our health. So join us now as Dr. Gigi and I delve into this incredibly interesting subject with a local lady and practitioner that knows hypnosis so very well and works with it on a daily, intimate level. With her, we will unlock the mysteries of the mind and explore hypnosis as a key to our inner kingdom. With that, I want to welcome to the Doc and Jacques show, Kim White. Hey, Kim.
Hi. Thanks you for having me.
I'll give you a hello. Yeah, there we go. Cool. We met you, 3 weeks ago on Curry Cafe. It was hosted by Ray Gary, I think I see Ray.
He's right here.
Oh, there he is. Ray. Well, that's where we first met you, and we were really taken aback. We said, wow, what an interesting lady, what an interesting subject and things that you do. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. Doc.
All right, Kim, we'll start with the basics. Where are you from?
I am originally from California, San Joaquin Valley. I grew up on a 365-acre ranch.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my experience there. And eventually moved over here in 2007, followed my family, and here I am.
On the coast where it's nice and cool and temperate.
Nice and cool.
Right?
So you have been here since 2007.
Yes.
Nice.
So you're more longer established than a lot of people we have had on as guests.
Right. Now, what do you like
Best
about that?
Oh, the temperatures.
Yeah.
I can't do the heat anymore. It's just so nice right here. Little mild temperatures. And
Right.
it's beautiful, and the air is clean.
What would you like to have what we don't have?
What do you wish that we had?
Oh my goodness, an Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
You mean an Olive Garden
Restaurant.
Oh,
Maybe a good steakhouse.
Where do you got to go? Where do you got to go to?
Medford, I think it is.
Medford?
Closest.
Is it Olive Garden?
there.
Yeah.
There was what was a place in Brookings here? That place that closed down after years and years and years and years.
Oh, Holleran's, I think it was.
Holleran's,
the steakhouse.
yeah.
I missed that place.
House, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Did you grow up on a cattle ranch too?
It was a cattle ranch. We had livestock. We had farming of melons and alfalfa, and it was right up on the San Joaquin River, and we had all kinds of.
Wow. How cool is that?
Yeah, a lot of hard work.
Right.
Yeah.
Does your family still own that?
No,
Still
it
there?
was sold after my grandpa passed away in 2003. It was finally sold. Yeah, that was the heartbreaking time, because there's just, once you grow up on a farm and you put in the work in the fields and actually feed the animals, you have a different appreciation for life. And you just don't see a lot of that anymore. So
What do
Now-
you? Yeah, go ahead.
So we had this hypnosis, and hypnosis MD10, hypnosis prologue. Tell us what you do. What is what you do? Why are we hyping you up? What do you do?
What is your title and position? Yeah.
Well, I'm a holistic health practitioner, but I do specialize in hypnosis, energy work. With hypnosis specifically, my specialty is past life regressions. I do help those who have the too much behaviors of weight loss and smoking cessation and addictions and that. So that's why we're here today, is because I don't know if there's any other hypnotist in town.
I don't know if there is either. I think I know a lot of people use self-hypnosis like I did without any formal training. Whatever got you interested in it?
Well, I've been on the healing journey for a very long time. And I was literally led from when I went from the energy healing to sound to hypnosis. It was just these little bends in the river. I do a lot of meditating anyway. And so when you speak to your clients and you get them relaxed in a session, it's a form of hypnosis. And so I just delved in deeper to that and learned all I could about it. And I'm still learning.
So the hypnosis was just kind of one of the things that you hit on the way, and you got caught in it.
Yeah.
Do you have formal hypnosis training
I do.
of some sort?
I do.
Tell us about-
Cascade Hypnosis Center in Bellingham, Washington was my formal training.
Oh, wow.
So you are accredited. You have gone through the formal training that people would have to call yourself. The state of Oregon calls you have to read.
Certified
Refer to yourself
hypnotist
as
in the state of Oregon. You can't use therapist unless there's a license involved.
Like a medical license?
Medical license. You
Even
can't,
though it has been approved for medical issues?
you have to go for licensing through the medical board. And they don't have that for Oregon, it's my understanding. So
Must a good hypnotic therapist how do I call it? Just hypnotherapist? How about
Yeah,
that? Okay.
hypnotherapist.
What does a hypnotherapist have in there? What do you have in your toolbox? What kind of stuff do you have to have that makes you a good hypnotherapist?
Well, first and foremost, you have to have the desire to want to help people.
Right.
Some get into it for the money, and you just don't serve your clients if it's just money-based. So first and foremost, the desire to, genuinely help people. Secondly, get as much education as you can. Yes, there's different techniques and what have you, and not everybody's cookie cutter. Third, when it comes to applications, some people start off with scripts, as I've done with scripts, audios and videos to help those and send them home with homework, books, self-hypnosis books, classes, anything you can to help them further once they leave your chair.
Now, were you hypnotized in the beginning, or were you a patient that underwent that to see what it does to a person?
I did that in my class, after my class, actually. But no, my mother, when she was in her little earth body, and my stepdad, they used it to quit smoking, and it was one session.
Oh,
and
cool.
they
One
used it-
session?
One session.
Oh, geez.
Yes, and I actually have clients that complete it in one session, and it's amazing. I had sleep problems, chronic insomniac for years and years. I was taking Xanax every night. And what it would do for me is it wouldn't sedate me, but it would turn off the monkey mind.
Right.
And so what hypnosis did for me was help me turn the monkey mind off so I can go to sleep.
No, I listened to some YouTube sleep hypnosis tapes where this guy is talking like this, and then you go to a cabin or whatever. So does that, I listened to it and I eventually fell asleep because it was so boring, but is that... I don't know. What should you feel when you listen to those?
Well, relaxed is, but sometimes boredom. If you want to go to sleep, they say to put on a show that you're completely bored with, and you eventually go to sleep.
Yeah.
It just puts you in an alpha state. So the minute you close your eyes, you're almost instantly into an alpha brainwave state, and then hopefully you can go into the theta, or that's the dream state, and then delta, and you're out. So.
Yeah.
That's where.
Now, what are the biggest misunderstandings that you have encountered with the hypnosis and hypnotherapy?
Well, some of the biggest misunderstandings would be you have to use a device the circle with the stripes.
Oh,
in
yeah.
it. The pendulum, even though that is
pendulum, the swinging
pendulum,
watch,
the swinging watch. Although that they do use that, and there's techniques for it, but it's not 100%. The mind control, like you were touching on earlier. That's the biggest misconception, is that we control your mind and you have no control whatsoever. That's the biggest
That's
myth.
stage hypnosis too. A lot of that, right?
That is
Comes
stage
from that.
hypnosis, yes.
When I was younger, I used to see stage hypnotists all over. I haven't seen a stage hypnotist advertised in a long time. They're no longer putting them on TV.
Yeah, they're not as prevalent anymore. No, but but they were hypnotists, and some people are very susceptible, especially if you go to this show and you've had some, little alcoholic beverages, and you're, ready to have any experience. You can quite possibly quack like a duck. You're down
Yeah,
for that,
I
but
guess.
it's not the common
Your
practice.
defenses are a little lower than the defense.
Aren't we all kind of naturally programmed to be at times in a state of hypnosis?
Definitely, all the time. In fact, you touched on it. Those who can't say they can be hypnotized, you go into hypnosis when you go to sleep,
Right.
and when you wake up.
Yeah.
You're driving down the road and you miss your turn because you're just daydreaming.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a study where they took a group of people and they said, we want you into the beta brainwave. That's you're wide awake. And we're going to have you watch TV, and that TV will only stay on if you're in beta. And within 60 seconds, consistently, the TV went off. They were in alpha, and they were in a level of light hypnosis.
So TV
From the
is
TV?
a big
Yeah,
hypnotic.
It is. That's why there's
Influence.
commercials that,
To wake you up.
well, just to have you focus, because you're so focused. We do it at work in the office. We're so focused on our job that we're tuning literally everything out. That's a level of hypnosis as well.
Fascinating
I'm
stuff.
hypnotized all day long.
Yeah, there you see.
I mean, it is crazy. And then
It
the
is- it is-
commercials, too.
It is draining. It must be super draining for a hypnotist, right? Because you have to calm down somebody else's mind. You have to yourself be very focused. Is that draining? Do you feel your mind?
It can be. It can be. I think the biggest energy drainer of it, and I hate to put it like that, is when you have someone who's reliving a crisis,
Yeah.
a trauma, and you have to think on your toes so that they're not going
Down that rabbit
down
hole.
that rabbit hole. You want to change the perception. So it does take a lot of your energy, but as a practice should be, before and after the session, you clear your energy. You take that time in between sessions to, just decompress. And
No, so you said before this regression hypnosis is a lot of times it's done for weight gain if you can't lose weight because of something what happened before, or anxiety or a panic. So I'm sure you encounter that quite a bit, right?
with past life regression,
Yeah.
there's times where you don't find it's called initial sensitizing event in this lifetime. You jump back to a past life to see what the cause was, and you'll find it, typically, unless it's a spirit attachment, and that's a little different.
Do you practice self-hypnosis? I know.
Every day.
I do too, yeah. I
Every day.
still kind of cling to it. You know what? One thing I noticed that happened with me, Cam, once I became aware of my subconscious mind, which so many people today we just don't know what it is. We just, what's that? People don't have any conception of what it is. It's just, we just work on our brain. It's the other mind. But my dream state picked up incredibly, and I was able to remember my dreams once I got into hypnosis before I'd go to sleep. My dreams could be remembered. And to a point where it almost became irritating, because I would remember all my dreams. Where in the past, everybody forgets your dreams, because when you come out of that state, your brain says, "Okay, shut down. I'm the author of this ship. I'm the captain of this ship. So you don't need that subconscious mind. Put it in the back."
Yeah.
That's some interesting stuff there.
No, you said sometimes you let people go with books on hypnosis, etc. Are there a lot of different books out? Self-hypnosis, how to hypnotize your
There's
spouse.
all kinds, and there's audios now, and just all different kinds. And the only thing that I have an issue with is if, and I've seen them advertised in here, you can hypnotize somebody like this without any formal training. Typically hypnosis is relatively safe, but if you read this book and think, you're a hypnotist and go try to hypnotize somebody, and there's some really deep-rooted traumas and you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And so, but the self-hypnosis books are amazing, and they help people understand what the conscious mind and the subconscious mind can do and help them relax.
So how do they know? So I listen to those sleep self-hypnosis rather, and I'm pretty sure they didn't work. So how do you know that they do work? I mean, they might have worked, I don't know, because I fell asleep. So how do you know that you're actually going somewhere with that self-hypnosis?
Is your quality of life changing? Are your thoughts changing? Are your habits changing? That's
like
that's
heavy duty things.
Yeah, heavy duty stuff.
What's the best thing you can say about hypnotherapy?
The best thing that I can say with that is because it works on the subconscious mind, it opens up so much for the individual that it's non-invasive, but it gets down to the root cause, and it allows people to have a better life in one form or another, and the recovery of whatever they need to be healed. Hypnosis just gets right down to that root cause in a non-threatening way.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the bad part of it?
Self-hypnosis? None.
None. Yeah.
None. I don't know of any.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray.
Yeah, we got the Ray here.
Ray leaving the office here. So I have a question on the self-hypnosis. Somebody says, I want to stop smoking, for example, right? Through self-hypnosis. How successful is that? Because don't they need a coach?
Unless they are really, 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 really done, and this is where they come into my sessions, and I give them 1 to 2 sessions. They've got to be completely done. Despite anything else, they have no trauma. They don't have anything in the background that would cause them to pick up that cigarette. They're done. Yes, self-hypnosis can be successful. However, you should have, a coach or a hypnotist to guide you through, because you never know what comes up to have originally started you to pick up that cigarette to begin with. And if you don't address it, you're going to pick up that cigarette again.
Really, what are habits? I mean, bizarre. We'll get into the into what you were saying about the pre-life
Progression.
Progression. Yeah. But first, how do you define a habit? And are all habits bad?
Not all habits are bad. A habit is something that you do on a regular basis. That's repetition. That becomes second nature. But those that are disruptive and destructive, they're there too. So.
But you're taught, for example, smoking is a habit, and it's a double habit. Your body wants the nicotine, and you just want to do the motion of getting stuff in your lungs.
Yes.
So the smokers certainly don't think it is that bad enough to quit, right? So it's a habit that makes them happy. So how can you? So I understand if somebody really, really wants to quit, they can't quit under whatever circumstances, right? But if you're maybe on the fence, I should because my doctor said, or because the commercials say so, that's not enough to actually convince your own self that, you need to quit.
Typically those people, I got to quit because my wife is having a baby, or, my kids say my clothes smell.
Right.
They're not doing it for them, and they're not done. And that's with any addiction whatsoever.
Yeah.
If you're not done, you won't have success. If you don't do it for you and you're not completely done, you'll go back.
No, the other one that was interesting is that Jacques brought up is the Overeating Anonymous. And so if you ask them, or I would just assume, if you would ask them, they probably will say, well, I'm hungry. A lot of people, most people say, I'm eating because I'm bored. I'm eating because people say, I'm hungry. I have to eat. So that's a basic instinct to be hungry.
Yeah, true.
So that's why they're eating. How is that addressed?
Well, it's a matter of, when you get down and you talk to the client, you figure out, are you really hungry, or are you thirsty, or are you eating as a coping mechanism, which you did maybe as a child?
Yeah.
And so now your brain's equating I'm stressed to hunger instead of true hunger.
Yeah.
And so that gets addressed in the beginning. I mean, if they're constantly hungry and their bellies are rumbling and they're just putting on this weight, it's time to see a medical provider. But if their tummies aren't rumbling and they can't identify what true hunger means, they say I'm hungry and they're actually stress eating.
So that's the counseling then coming.
Some forms of hypnosis takes better than others, right? And I think, from what I understand, is it true that overeating or just weight loss is kind of a hard one? Smoking is kind of a hard one, whereas bursitis, where you grind into the teeth, for instance, or bruxism, these are relatively quick. Although you did say somebody lost their desire to smoke, and
in one
After
day.
one session?
All right, before we say that, we're already at the halfway mark of this week's edition of Doc and Jacques.
Thank you for all listening. We're having a fascinating talk here with Kim White, who is a hypnotherapist here in Brookings and beyond. We're going to get a lot of information from her and how you could contact her in just a bit. We are already at that halfway mark of this week's edition of Doc and Jacques, and you're tuned into KCIW 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. We're proudly a non-commercial community radio station, and regardless if you sing, you do have a voice, and that is what a community radio station like KCIW does best. We are made up of local, good folks just like you who care passionately about our lovely coastal village, and if you have a penchant for community service, volunteering, or joining the KCIW radio family, which I implore you to do, it really is a cool group of people, get involved. You can serve, you could contribute, you can donate your time and your money to an exemplary local nonprofit radio station. You can find out more by going to the website, kciw.org. And by the way, after this show, is that somebody rolling? We got somebody upstairs rolling around. The restaurant upstairs sometimes rolls equipment around and chops chicken and whatnot. You can find out more by going to kciw.org. And there you can also listen to this program at your own leisure just by going into past shows. Okay, let's get back to Kim White, our guest today on this show, Doc and Jacques. Lead off. Where do you want to go? Okay. We were talking about I know
Overeating.
Overeating.
And
What's the hard
also
ones?
the hard one, because it is a basic instinct that we have to go by.
I want to go into the past life regression because I think that's fascinating. But first, I got to get your spill on, let's talk about the subconscious mind. So what exactly is the subconscious mind, Kim?
The subconscious mind is who you truly are as an individual. It is a full makeup of your habits and your experiences. It's the sum of everything in your life, of what's going on with your emotions, your habits, your moods. It is not one that dictates, like the conscious mind tries to be in control. The subconscious mind is just the book, and the conscious mind is the reader and the...
That's the brain,
yes.
Right? That's your brain. Always thinking.
Yes.
But your brain needs rest. It has to sleep at night, right? Or sometime during. But the subconscious mind, does it rest?
It never sleeps.
It never sleeps. That's right.
It's like the autonomic nervous system.
Yeah.
It's always
that's
active.
It's all in charge of. How about emotions? Are they part of the subconscious
Yes.
mind?
Yes.
So fear, anxiety, love, those are all part of the subconscious.
It's all part of the
Not
subconscious
so much
mind.
the brain. The brain can receive the vision, I suppose. Oh, I like that person, or that I like that look. But it's the emotional part that is. How about dreams? Who controls the brain, or does the subconscious mind control your state of dreams?
The subconscious mind does, yeah.
So I'm wondering, my dreams are always very repetitive, boring. I always have to find something I can't, have to do something I can't. And Jacques' dreams are always often fun. Like he has these fun, exciting adventures. Is that, and I'd say, I want to have those dreams and I never do. So is that because he has a different subconsciousness? I mean, why does his dreams are always fun and not always?
Particularly you. You're my dream.
Well, yeah, besides that. I mean, at night when we're sleeping.
Oh, that. Okay.
So why are the dreams so different? Why can't I say I want to have a fun, exciting adventure dream?
You know, it varies on different things, and there's different takes, and totally for another show on some things. From what I understand, some believe that the dreams are a parallel. You live in a parallel life, and this is what you're jumping from one life to the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Secondly, your dreams are in your theta brainwave state, and if you've got, if you're busy, you're a doctor, everything is just it's kind of serious, then your dreams will most likely be very serious because that's where you go.
Seriously.
Others, if they've got some deep-seated fears, their dreams will come up like that because that's what their subconscious mind keeps reliving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never
frustrating.
sleeps.
It never
takes
sleeps.
care of so many things that we just take it for granted. Whereas the brain, the brain is a great performer, right? It's a great act. It controls the five senses, right? So it puts on razzle dazzle dance all day long, and then at nighttime, it has to rest, and that's sometimes when we can come. Is that state of dream? Is that state of of rest. So is that so important in hypnosis, where that relaxed state?
Yes. In fact, it depends on which technique that you use in hypnosis. A lot of hypnotists like to just get the client down to an alpha brain, and that's just where you're relaxed and you're focused, but you're still can answer. Theta with past life regression is the best way to go, because now you're in a deeper level of the subconscious and the brainwaves, where that's where your dreams and everything comes from, and the visuals. And so it gets pretty descriptive. You get more information when you're in the theta brainwave state than you do alpha.
Yeah, but we don't have EEGs and encephalograms to see which waves we're in. Do you just see it when people?
You can tell. Yeah, it's by visual signs, and a lot of the time they take a big sigh, or they start breathing through the diaphragm, and their speech starts getting slower and slower. They get real quiet.
Take us through the stages again. Alpha is wide awake.
Beta's wide awake.
Beta's wide awake.
Alpha is relaxed and focused. Theta is your deepest level of trance. And your dream state, and then delta is your sleep.
So you can do a lot of work, especially in the past life regression, which will now go into that area, in the theta state. That is not a dream. That's not a deep. That's a deep sleep state, right?
It's a deep state, but you're not asleep. You're in between of the sleep and the alpha, where you're still really focused, but you're relaxed. You're right in the middle.
Wow. That is fascinating. I think so many people are interested in this. My personal take is always that I think we're given a choice after death, that we can come back or we don't have to. One of the two. That's my personal belief. So I wouldn't be concerned about a past life regression unless I came back once before. So what is past life regression all about?
Past life regression is a technique to take you back, the subconscious back, because the subconscious, and I think you hit on it, is a collective. Take the subconscious back to all the memories of the past lives, because people do have past lives. And so when you regress them to that past life, it's a technique to get them where they need to be.
Wow. And in those lives could be disrupted, could have been horrible lives. So what happens if you take somebody back to is there problems that arise? But sometimes when you bring people that are in a theta state, do they want to go back to the state?
Typically, when someone wants to go back, they're very curious. They want to know what they've lived, not how. Sometimes they want to know how they died, because they have some weird markings on their body, or I've got, back problems and I didn't hurt my back, or I'm just curious. I want to know. And some of them are pretty traumatizing, but as a hypnotist, there's techniques that you use that you have that client be the observer when their subconscious is reliving this, instead of them taking on those physical symptoms, which they will. They'll start to grab their chest, or, they say they're on fire or something of that nature. You just let them know you can observe. It's okay. You can watch as you talk yourself through it. And that usually stops a lot of that.
Go ahead. We skipped ahead of ourselves, but because this is so fascinating, Doc.
I have a friend, Sammy, who girlfriend is Lindy. They have been together, and when they each found the first time they knew, and they were older. They all had already relationships. They were 55, 60 or something. And they got together, and they knew they were destined to be together. And he says, I know for a fact, 100%, I was a knight in a previous life, and she was my lady. And I actually ended up dying for her. So he says, and I don't know how he gives me goosebumps.
Oh, he died the knight died for this lady.
Yeah, and they're now together. He says, there's no doubt in my mind. I just know it. And I don't know how he got to it, but that's past life.
There's so many stories.
Oh, my
fascinating
gosh.
stories. You
But
must hear these
stories from
great
somebody
stories.
you know and trust. It's like, oh, this is not just I read it on Facebook.
And he might have just been able to carry that memory over, which a lot of us forget when we're come back. But
Yeah, he said he knew it the second he saw it. That's when it happened.
yeah.
Just like me when I saw you.
Yeah.
I walked into your
I was
office.
your lady.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it.
Walked in. I said, I have ridges in my fingernails. What do I do? Something real
So
serious.
we are a teeny tiny town here, and the Brookings Harbor. How does such a little tiny town support a hypnotist who, or what is your official title? Hypnotherapist, So hypnotherapist, because I have actually never met one, and I lived in bigger towns, And so this is amazing. How does the word go around and how do you find clientele? Because I know you're busy because you had to cancel
Yeah.
some appointments now. So
Luckily, I mean, the radio show did bring me a client, and she was actually very fascinating with the past life regression. I get the word out there a little bit. I'm starting now to put myself out there locally. I have clients around the world, and I've had clients around the world for the past few years. So now I'm bringing it locally now that I have a little office, and there are those that want to be seen in person.
Right.
So Facebook helps, and
you have done Zoom meetings before, right?
It's basically, do you use the Zoom
yes,
format?
a lot. 95% of my business is Zoom.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you prefer either way? It doesn't matter to you or yours?
You know, the only time it gets sticky is if you get into a situation such as someone's dealing with a trauma and your internet goes down.
Oh, no.
Right.
You know,
I
that's
think that.
a problem because you really got to pay attention to the nonverbal cues of the client, you know. And so for me, I mean, it's nice to wear a nice shirt, but then you have your flannel jammies and slippers on the Zoom. But then at the other hand, sometimes you need that human connection in person as well. So I'm good at it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And also, when people are in their own homes, they could be more comfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Sitting in their favorite chair, resting on their favorite couch, kicking back and being themselves in it, and versus going into an office, a strange office with different lighting and different furniture and whatnot. They might not be
you're
used to.
right.
So you do a lot of that.
Yes.
Now, do you also do, I think it's Reiki. Is it Reiki? Now, that has to do with energies, right? Yes. Now, do you have to have somebody in the room for that?
No. A lot of my distance, for example, some of my very first clients were in India. And they loved to go to bed at 11:30 at night. I don't know what that time was about, but they said I wanted 11:30 at night, which was 9 o'clock my time. And what I did was I had their picture, and you can use a surrogate if you want, a stuffed animal. You don't have to use anything at all. But I did my Reiki session on them, told them what I found. They could feel it as I was doing it, and they are half a world away from me.
Very, very fascinating stuff. And it's not just to be swept under the carpet, because you're dealing with the tools of the brain and the incredible power of the subconscious mind and all of this stuff.
Yes.
So you've got to be open to it. Have you always had that kind of ability to pick up people's energy? And
yes, my family, and we've got gifts on that side, psychic gifts, and I've always kind of had those since I was little. You pick up the energies of people, but mine was mainly with animals since I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, I grew up
on animals.
I did.
The cows fall over because they're hypnotized.
Here, it's a standing cow tip. Oh, no. Anyway, no, just kidding.
I think they do. Some people are able to No, they could put an animal into a state of hypnosis.
They can, and a lot of it's the Reiki where the animal feels the energy and they get relaxed is what that is. But we've always kind of had that lineage of gifts.
No, is anybody else in your family doing anything similar like that?
No, just me.
I would think you probably would be a sensational counselor, right? I mean, without just because you pick up a lot of cues that people don't even know that they're, sending out. Have you ever thought about
I thought about that
counseling?
because I sponsored people through AA and NA. I'm a recovering methamphetamine addict of 28 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
And I have been the sponsor of alcoholics and addicts. And you do pick up these things because you got to pull their covers when they try to, throw some BS your way and, be very non-judgmental, but counsel them through and guide them through those 12 steps. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so it was a 12. What got you through the 12 steps? Or was it?
That I went through church, and then I went through the 12-step program. And then I went out on my own with the energy healing and things of that nature. And
Now, did you have those the energy sensing abilities before that as well, or did they really come out after?
The more you work with it, it's like with anything. The more you work with something, the better you get, and the more practice, and the more it opens up. I've always had it, but yes, it gets stronger the more I work with it on different levels.
Cultivated. Mm-hmm. Oh, super interesting.
You believe in the recycling of souls?
Recycling of souls, is that
I guess like reincarnation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, when you were at the Sunday show 3 weeks ago, you talked about spirits know what body or what, let's say heaven, I just say heaven. Some spirits see what their world will be when they get born. They know what their body will be that they
They can pick a body. I
they
think you
or
said,
can
They
pick
can
the
pick their
body.
it's known throughout. If you talk to any of the guides, when you have somebody under, well, not under, but in hypnosis, and the guides come forward, they'll say, "Yeah, you know what? You chose your parents. You chose them 5 years before you're born. They've actually, there's stories of, when they're in their spirit body and they see a couple that's, just brand new and they know they're going to get married, that they said, that's my mom and that's my dad. And they know.
Now, that is also a Mormon and LDS concept.
Yeah, this blew my mind. I had no clue. I didn't know the Mormons believed in
Yeah, I
a
didn't either.
preordained. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I didn't know that. I thought I knew a lot about the Mormon, but they believe you were picked beforehand, right? Or
Well, you can pick. Yeah, you can pick, just like what Kim was saying.
and so some people, actually, you were mentioning the other night that we were talking about this, some people come back as handicapped.
Yeah, they know
Physical-
beforehand that they might be handicapped or they might be trisomy 21 or any other.
Because why? Because it's gonna teach them a lesson in this life.
Well, I don't know. I don't
Maybe they
remember
need to be
picking
humbled.
anybody. Now, also the last time you said that I'm an identical twin, and that we're separate. We're separate spirits
Yes.
or entities, or even though genetically we're pretty much the same.
Yes.
And certainly we're different people. I mean, my twin sister.
Yep. Rika.
And though we act somewhat similar.
Hey, Rika, if you're listening, I sent her an invitation.
You did?
Click in, yeah.
Oh, hey,
in
Shula.
Provo, Utah.
Yeah.
So they're twins, but they are separate, but they have a split soul. How would you describe?
No,
it?
they have two separate souls. They just share DNA.
Okay. Is the soul? Would you equate the soul with the subconscious mind?
No. Even though the subconscious mind is now considered a they, which is your oversoul, higher self, I don't equate the soul with the subconscious at all. I equate the soul as connecting with the subconscious, but I don't equate it as the subconscious, if that makes sense.
So our brain kind of can figure out, well, I think this is either yes or no, yay or nay on the soul thing. But we all do have a soul. We all have a subconscious mind, but many of us just don't understand the subconscious mind.
Right.
Well, is it the same as the it and the ego and the...
See, it gets complicated.
Well, see, it does get very
Yeah.
complicated.
It does. It really does.
I mean, is there a clear, this is how it is, or is it just kind of an umbrella and we're part this, part
Well, the conscious mind is part of that ego because the conscious mind thinks it knows everything. When really
That's
it, does,
right.
it
It's
doesn't
the
know
brain.
everything.
Yeah, I
So
know
that's
it
where
all.
your ego, that's where that ego comes in.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm not going to, I know better than you. And when really the subconscious mind says, go to sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep.
Go to
Chill it
sleep.
out.
Let me handle this.
Let me handle it. So if you go back and you find someone that has had a horrible past life, I'm sure you've uncovered some. Maybe they were hung as a mutineer or as a pirate or something. How do you deal with that? I mean, if are they coming out and telling you, I'm ready to die, I'm a pirate.
Yes, you
Really?
you walk them through.
Whoa.
And I had permission to discuss without mentioning names. This client I had last week, we walked through many lives, and a lot of them was set on fire, a bombing, and this in his life. And he was a heathen. He was right there. They live it. They're right there.
So was he a victim every time, or was he the instigator?
There was no instigator on this one. There was several victims, and there seemed to be a theme with the past lives of warfare and fighting, and there was a theme. And you walk them through their death, and they're talking to you as this is happening. And so this is where you separate and let that person know, okay, you're going to be the observer, you're watching, but and they'll tell you.
Hey, something I don't mean to get us off track, but can shyness be helped through hypnosis?
Oh,
I
definitely.
mean, if you're too shy, I've known some people that are so shy, and then it just gets in. It becomes debilitating as they grow older. They just don't want to kind of go out because they're so shy.
Yes, hypnosis can definitely help with that.
Now, the person that you had all these horrible past lives, what brought him to even discuss that? Was it, did he have panic or anxiety, or could he not sleep? Was he overeat, or how did you get to that?
This particular client came to me because, and in this life, she's female, and she knew that she had some past lives, had some experiences with, some of the past lives she did know and wanted to uncover more.
Oh.
And so we did. And there was quite a few. And she had some pretty good ones, too, some pretty good lives, and some that ended tragically. And so, yeah, it was very interesting to uncover.
Can there be a transference? I've always heard these stories about a grandfather who dies, and maybe the grandfather was a pilot in a Second World War plane, and the grandson is born when the grandfather dies, and the kid is 5 years old. He walks in, he knows everything that's going on inside that plane, an old vintage plane that he sees at a festival.
I've heard stories like that, but it would have to be where Grandpa had passed away way kind of before the baby was conceived. You know what I mean? Instead of the baby in the womb was already,
So the grandfather chose, I want to be that person who could.
Yes, I mean, it's rare, but it does happen. It does happen.
And so, folks that are listening, self-hypnosis is fantastic, but it has its limitations. I would suggest everybody to reach out to a therapist if you have availability to do so, because then you kind of get set on the right. You get squared up with a therapist. I didn't know enough when I brought my daughter into. I was new, and I brought her into past life regression. She went back and she said, "Dad, I have taste blood," and I realized I had brought her. She was in the womb. I didn't realize she had brought her back to, and I didn't know what to do. And I kind of quickly brought her out of it. And she still kind of puns me with this. So, what the heck are you doing, Dad? Where are you going to take me after that? I don't know. Learn from the best. Learn from people. I want everybody to grab their pens and their papers. We're getting kind of close to the end of the show because there we go.
That's when he likes to do it.
I love shuffling papers and clicking pens. Grab your pens and paper because Kim is going to give you the information that you need to know how to contact her. We are blessed with this woman and our beautiful little coastal community of little southwest corner of Oregon and northwest corner of California. And we're glad that she's here. Kim, are you big on Facebook?
I do have a Facebook account, and I have an account for the business as well.
Okay, and what is that called?
Coastal Hypnosis and Holistics.
Okay, Coastal?
Coastal Hypnosis.
Okay.
And Holistics.
All right. And do you have a phone number that you associate that you
I
give
do.
people?
541-469-0262.
Okay, that was 541-469-0262.
Correct.
How come you got that? That's a pretty darn good number.
So that is the Facebook. Do you have a website?
I do.
Okay.
www.coastalhypnosisandholistics.com.
Oh, same word. But so it's A-N-D and, not the and sign.
Yeah, and
one word.
Coastal, say it one more time.
coastalhypnosisandholistics.com.
And Kim White, K-I-M, and then W-H-I-T-E, and you can be found, are you like on LinkedIn or anything like that?
I'm on LinkedIn. I haven't used LinkedIn a whole lot, but I am on there. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I do have a TikTok, but it's a handle of Kim Consciously Living is on Facebook, and Instagram is my handle.
Handle?
Yeah, it's where your ID or they call it a handle.
Yeah.
I'm learning this techie stuff. It's new to me.
I'm obviously on TikTok. I didn't know
TikTok, I was just informed earlier today on another show, the young lady says, TikTok's for us young kids. Instagram's for the hip people and the old people like Facebook. Like, well, that's all I'm on Facebook right now. I got to expand.
I know. She asked him today, she said, do you know what? Shoot. What was it?
I don't know.
Shoot. Anyway, what something was like the Japanese cartoon. And he said, yeah, I know what it is. And she says, you do?
Yeah. Comic-Con.
No, you didn't know Comic-Con, but the
Comic-Con.
the comic thing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. Anyway.
Kim is available in our beautiful little village of Brookings, Oregon, and Crescent City, and this entire region.
And on Zoom.
Goes everywhere. So she can go everywhere you are in the convenience of your own home. We are deeply impressed by her.
Yes, very
We
interesting.
picked up on your good vibes right off the bat. We wanted you in the show, and we are so happy that we have brought you in today to scratch the surface of this fascinating and just a big, big area. We would love to have you on at least every 6 months if you would come back again.
I would be honored. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's really
come
an
on
honor
back
today.
because
Thank you.
we could just go down so many myriad of paths in learning about ourselves. And one of the greatest ways is to find out who our inner selves are through hypnosis. And when you get a trained technical person like him that could lead you there safely, then all the more power to you. Again, her phone number is 541
469
0262. And that is a wrap. Thanks, Kim, for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for coming
for
in.
having me.
So interesting.
Yeah, we got 5 more minutes left for what?
For Fun Time
Hey,
Corner.
before we get to Fun Time Corner, though, I got to say,
What?
next week we have
more cool
Levi
people.
Stockton and Barb Hunt. Levi is the founding president of Advanced Airlines. He's flying up with Barbara from LAX, Los Angeles, where they live. They're the ones that operate the airlines out of Crescent City that give us access to the Bay Area in 44 minutes and down to LA twice a week. So Barbara and Levi are going to be coming into the studio, one Cape Fogan and earlier in the day and Crescent City, and then they will be up here 4 to 5 next week. So make sure you tune in and find out all about the airwaves, literally what's going on. Okay, Doc, what have we got for
All right,
good
I got
quote?
a couple
Hit me
of
with
quotes.
a good quote.
You better hit me with a good joke, though.
Oh, well, wait a minute.
All right, my first quote is, I looked up hypnosis quotes. There weren't any, so I go with the dreams. Dream it, then make it happen.
Dream it, then make it happen. That's simple. I like the
Yeah,
simple
it's a
ones
good one.
because I got it in my brain sometimes. Doc compares me with a computer. She does. Not because of my calculation skills, but because I go to sleep if left unattended for 15 minutes.
So true.
Hey, at least I always tiptoe past the medicine cabinet. I don't want to wake up the sleeping pills.
There's sleeping pills.
Oh my God, MC, you just gave away your little every time she's just a baby chick or a
No,
little
baby, but
animal.
quail, they're cute.
Or the turtles, Sativa. And
Oh, yeah, she's
Yeah.
cute. All right, the best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up.
wait a minute. Sometimes the best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. Is that by Mark Twain or somebody?
It's Paul Valerie.
Oh, everybody knows Paul, sure. Okay. Dr. Gigi really thinks I'm a weirdo because I sleep with the bedside lamp on. I don't know. I think it makes a great hat.
Yeah, he's weird. Okay, this is a good one, too. Everything is figure-outable.
Everything is figure-outable.
When I saw that, I thought, I could have made up that word.
Everything, well, that's a made-up word.
I know, but...
We're going to have our
Okay,
astute.
go.
Okay. What do you call a sleepwalking priest?
What?
A Roman Catholic. A Roman instead of Roman. Okay. Sometimes the doctor takes a little bit to get it in her brain. A Roman Catholic.
Okay.
Okay. I know they say that money talks, but all mine says is goodbye. Such a drag. Okay.
Still not funny.
I'll
Okay.
spend last time on you, though.
A goal without a plan is just a wish.
A goal without a plan is just a wish. Wow.
Right? Go on.
Wow.
Go on.
Okay. I went to Dr. Gigi. Even she's still my patient. I'm my doctor. I'm her patient. I still go to her. I have to make appointments. And I get put down like, oh, yeah, him 6 months away. But I went to her recently to show her a very suspicious-looking mole. Mm-hmm. She informed me that most moles look that way and then advised me to return it to the garden. It was a nice little, it was a beautiful little mole. Poor thing couldn't see.
That was you. All right. Well, okay. Then now we're
more
done
quote.
with.
One
No,
more?
I have
You're
one more
done?
quote.
Okay, we're done. Jennifer, we hope you like your
because
jokes.
we're done. The time flew again during this week's live radio variety show. You have been listening to Doc and
Jacques.
on KCRW LP 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. We hope that you have enjoyed the show. We certainly have.
Absolutely.
Conversation with Kim White
Kim
was
White.
super
Thank you for coming
awesome.
in. And thanks again to Tom Bozak and Gary Simon for their engineering wizardry in the KCW studio. Plus, if you know of anybody that would be good on the show, please recommend them to us. You all have a wonderful week. See you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Peace and love. Bye-bye.